I wanted to bring up a different subject and ask if you have anybody in your office that checks on this. So BJ Van Gundy and I were at Gwinnett County Board of Elections on, all of my days of running together. It was the night before the audit was going to end, whatever that night that was. And while we were there were about 60 people that were there, not for purposes of the audit, but they were there, and this is about 10 o'clock at night. They were temps, I guess, that were there to open up new voter registrations. And what we were told is that there were approximately 20,000 in that batch. That's a hell of a lot of new voters, and it was a big red flag to me. And I'm wondering if you all have anybody in your office that's checking these with as they come in to see if these folks are actually in Georgia or if they just moved to Georgia, because I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of that going on from these calls from Andrew Yang and others from out of state that are asking people to move to Georgia to vote.
Well, that's separate than what we were talking about. But to that point, yesterday the state election board did meet. We had originally were going to propose a state election board about rule about residency. And the Attorney General's office felt that we did not have the statutory authority to do that. So we're going to do that as an OEB. But one of the things that we'll be doing is making sure if people move here and they have a driver's license, that'll be one thing. But if they actually come here to register and they don't, then that is registered without, what are the three initials? That, we had a call about that this morning. We tried to explain that. But we'll be going through that and be sending every county election official, I guess, an OEB, really guidelines so that they're watching that process. And that really is open eyes by outside observers also like yourself to verify and have the ability to challenge any residency requirements for new voters that you don't believe are permanent residents of Georgia. And Gabe, you were on that call this morning. I don't know if Ryan was, if you want to go ahead and explain exactly what we'll be doing.
Ryan has just finished up working on the OEB. He'd be best to speak to this.
I can address that. This is Ryan. We're finishing up an OEB that's going out today. That stands for Official Election Bulletin. That basically tells the counties, here's it's your job to determine qualifications. So when you get an application, you have to look at it and make sure that that it's accurate. And if they need additional evidence, the Georgia Elections Code entitles them to get that. They can challenge a voter and set a hearing and subpoena evidence to say, oh, we're not sure you live here, so we're gonna have a hearing. That's in 21-2-228. The other thing that I wanted to flag for each of you on this call, first of all, new voter registrations is public information. So you can get that. Okay, who are the people who are being newly registered? You can get that from your county. Two, or you get that from us. Two, electors, that means voters. A voter in a county can challenge someone's qualifications, and so you guys know your counties better than anybody. So be looking at these and say, hey, this person doesn't live here. I know that. Or this person doesn't live here anymore. Be doing the same thing for the absentee ballot applications. That list is public. You guys know at least better, and then you have other people who know this guy doesn't live here anymore. This family doesn't live here anymore. And we're somewhat hamstrung by federal law on how often we can remove people from the rolls. But even if you can't remove someone from the rolls, which you can't right now under federal law, you can still challenge their right to vote. You can challenge whether or not their vote should count. If you move away from Georgia, even if you're still on the rolls, you're not allowed to vote because you've lost one of your qualifications, being a resident. And local boards can make that challenge to their own voters, and any elector in the county can make that challenge. And so that needs to be to be being done, but it really is, it happens at the local level because that's where the knowledge is.
And Ryan, can you talk about the IDR, the structural thing about the paper applications, then the paper request for absentee, and what that means?
So the existing law is anyone who registers to vote by mail for the first time, and by mail just means if you don't register at DDS or online, and to register online you have to first match your Georgia driver's license number. That's basically considered registering by mail. And if your Georgia driver's license number doesn't match, then you have to provide ID before you vote absentee or in person. So there's that systematic check in there, which is good. But there's also the challenge process that I just laid out.